morning, boomers. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest champagne crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Let me turn down the volume here. I think I got a little echo. That should be okay. Give me a 1, 2, 3. Roger that. If you hear me, a 10-4. It's the voice here. Markets continue to surge. Stocks, Bitcoin, Ether, and more. There is some promise of a new vaccine results, and now the stocks are surging. We're going to be looking at that. We'll be checking the price of Bitcoin and the other platforms that I'm excited about. A few more days till that WISE token debut. I already have a few ETH, and I'm going to add some more. The link is down below. There's only a couple more days. Check that out. It's linked down below. Shout out to Mike. Good morning, sir. And we'll be going over all the math today. Make sure you're touching all the buttons for me, the like, the subscribe, the post notification bell, the ding ding. Stay tuned in to the good ones that we spread here every single day. Let's check out the coin market caps over here. You can see, let me hit refresh, make sure we're up to date. Mike says, I got an echo. How's that echo now? Is it better? Let me know if you could read me there, Mike. 1, 2, 1, 2. Could you read me? Let me see if that's better. Yeah, Mike, let me know if you yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, I had to press another button here. Sometimes they run an update on you, and then, it kind of throws you off. But that's just technical issues. According to Mike, my echo is good now. Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah, okay, so let's get back to the show here. Bitcoin, they're at 15,313, down in the past hour, but up 11.6. I was looking at the Bitcoin, at these market cap charts in relation to Bitcoin this morning. And, once you switch it to Bitcoin, well, at least this morning was a bunch of red. Now you're seeing some of the altcoins awaken now in the past hour. But, in the past 24 hours, they're still red. And in the past week, it's been only the DeFi coins like Aave, Thorchain, Synthetics, Yearn, Celsius. Those DeFi coins are the only ones that have really outperformed Bitcoin after really dumping. They dumped a lot. So, it's to get into those, it's kind of wild. But, yeah, look at Aave. It's up 58.3% in the past week. Yearn, another 24. But, Yearn dumped. I remember when Yearn was like more than a Bitcoin. Now it's 0.96. So, it's something to consider. I'll go back to the US dollar, and that's what's going on. I'm holding on to the bits, and now you see Ether. Ether this week has outperformed Bitcoin. This is after the ETH 2.0 staking contract has been made live. Vitalik has already pledged, I think, 3,200 ETH into the contract. So I believe that the contract needs to receive a certain amount of ETH deposits before ETH 2.0 is launched. So there is some sort of a tracker. I don't know where it is. Maybe you guys could let me know. But they're only about 10% of the way there as far as the deposits required to start ETH 2.0. Now, according to the rumors, I'm hearing that ETH 2.0 may kick off as early as December. So this may continue to propel the price of Ethereum. I've been saying it all year. All last year, I've been telling you guys about DeFi. All this year, I've been telling you guys that I think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin. And I've been restacking. I mean, I've been buying Ether for years. But we recently started restacking Ether when it was around $170. And kaboom. Now it's at 447. I can expect this thing to go over 500 and approach all-time highs, I would expect. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not anybody's crypto daddy or financial advisor. But, if this thing really kicks off the way it's been promised, I mean, it could go back to all-time highs or maybe even close to. So there you go. Ether at 447, Ripple at 25 cents, Bitcoin Cash at 266, Chainlink at 1241, Binance at 2814, Polkadot at 433, Litecoin slipping under $60 once again at 59.33, Cardano at 10 cents, Satoshi Vision, we skip EOS at 251. Kind of quiet for EOS. I got to say, I mean, I thought there were going to be more movement with this Google announcement, but it didn't do as much as I expected. Monero there at 115, moving steady, but it's down. And then you got Wrapped Bitcoin moving on up. I'll tell you, when you consider Wrapped Bitcoin and all the other altcoins that are on the Ethereum blockchain, there is an argument to be made that it could be more valuable than Bitcoin. I don't know if that's true or not. And frankly, I'm not competing between Ether and Bitcoin. I'm stacking them both. But when I hear things like that, it makes me excited because I think that the potential upside, the potential for the upside gains on Ether is there. Okay, I think that Ether may move, guys, more than Bitcoin, but I'm stacking them both. And then, I'll be speculating on these smaller projects. I'll throw a couple $100, maybe a stack at some of these altcoin or speculative projects like the Wise token that I'm excited about. Make sure that you check this out. I think this may be something big, and it's coming as an alternative to Hex. And you know how Hex performed like a slugger. It's still performing, and this thing has a contract that is audited. They'll refund 70% of your gas fees for up to first 20,000 ETH sent to the contract. There's only 5,000 ETH now, which still is millions. And this thing unlocks on November 11th. You can see the reservations now for day one, November 11th. There's already 389 ETH. Day two, 237. I have 1 ETH on day 5 and half ETH on day 4, as well as more ETH on subsequent days. So I'll be throwing more ETH at this. Make sure you use my referral link down below, or somebody's referral link down below, because it gives users 10% bonus ETH when reserving Wise and 10% more shares when staking. Okay, I'm excited about this one, and I'm going to speculate on this one, and I've already thrown a couple ETH. So let's see how it pans out. Now, as far as stacking long term, I'll repeat, guys. I mean, I'm in here to get more Bitcoin and more Ethereum. Okay, and that's what I'm looking to save for the mid to long term. And then I'll make some plays on the Trons, on some of these altcoins and some of these alternative platforms, and see if they are, they make gains or not. Okay, but again, that's all speculation. Drop a comment here. Let me know what's shaking and baking. Shout out to everybody over there on D Live. I got about 3 maniacs over there. Crystozilla just donated 2 lemons. Athlete donated me an ice cream. Thank you so much. I'm going to put 50 lemons in the treasure chest right now, so that in just a moment I'll redistribute them. Make sure you're following me on D Live, a crypto-friendly live streaming platform. Okay. Thank you so much, Crystozilla and Athlete. Okay, so let's go ahead and run down. Let's look at the traditional markets, because right now the markets seem to be going to open up with a surge. You can see the futures indices right now are pointing for over 4% gain on the open there on the S&P. We'll be opening in just a few minutes at 9:30. S&P futures are already indicating 36.48 compared to S&P 35.09 where it closed on Friday. So yeah, it's going to open up and it's going up. Okay, this is after some news here. Futures are surging on vax results and the Biden win. I've been telling you guys, that Wall Street has been favoring Biden, and I don't know how long I've been saying it, and it is what it is. Now, what will happen with the case and whether whether Donnie's really gonna contest this in court or not, let's see. Let the courts decide. But right now, we're trading what we have in front of us, and the futures are surging. Okay, it is what it is. Drop a comment. Let me know what's shaking and baking. Indices will be. Let's check out the future metal futures as well. Metals are down. They're down 0.37, 1,877 for gold. Silver, they're at 24,415. This is because it's risk on right now. It's obvious that. Wow, look at this. Look at the bonds. Okay, look at the bonds. The 10-year yield is up almost 13% in the past 24 hours at 0.92, creeping up back to almost 1%. This is indicating to me that it's risk on now with Joey behind the wheels. Apparently, this is what Wall Street wants: more free, funny, bunny money, more stimulus. Let's inflate the markets is what socialists do. Now, if that is what's going to happen here, I don't know, but it certainly seems like that's the case. Okay, so there you go. 10-year yield up 12.86. We haven't seen this type of movement in a long time. This is extremely stock market bullish. And look at Aurora Cannabis raging to up 56%, almost $10. The Canopy, Canopy Growth and Aurora Cannabis, these cannabis stocks, I assume, are gaining weight with a liberal presidency, a potential liberal presidency. As you know, they like more drugs. So, get more porn, more drugs is what you can expect They like to pacify the masses. So I guess Aurora is going to boom. Canopy Growth may boom. And apparently Portland, Oregon, legalized all drugs, including heroin and everything. So it's going to get wild. And some other states like New Jersey legalized recreational marijuana. So I can see that there's some potential demand increase in the cannabis industry, and maybe that's why some of these cannabis stocks are going up. Let's look at the gainers here. Square is going to open up 13% up. Roku's up. Canopy Growth, Snap, Yelp, Spotify. We're seeing green across the boards out here. I told you guys, Wall Street wants Joey, guys. Free, funny, bunny money. And it's not like Donnie won't do that as well, but I think that, obviously Joey's more malleable. He's going to do whatever his handlers say, apparently, allegedly. So, drop a comment, guys. Shout out to Mike out there. And apparently my echo has gone away, so. Let's look at T2X. Someone's hit me up with a message the other day like, oh, T2X is down. Is this an exit or this and that? I never saw anything wrong with T2X. Everything's fine. It's been running fine. It's up now. I hit refresh. My stakes are still coming in. And, everything's running according to plan here. I mean, I got small stakes, and I got in late. So, I got one coming up in on day 124, we're on 122. So in 2 days, I got one coming up that's really small. 1,500 T2X. I mean, the divs are going to be less than 100 TRX. So I'll probably just keep restaking this thing. So if you're interested with T2X, there's a link down below. And, I've been doing it slow and steady, but I'm not very vested in. I don't have like wild numbers in this. 1.5 T2X. The biggest stake I have here is 3.4 thousand T2X, which is not much. That's what's going on. Let me continue checking out here. Yahoo Finance, Market Soar, Vax Data, and it's wild. It's wild. Watch Joey try to take credit for getting rid of the Rona. Rona may just go away. The Vax may just work. All of a sudden, everything's all good. But wow, this is wild. And I'll tell you, I don't think that the body's in the bag yet. I think that there's a possibility. I mean, they may have a case, and who knows? I mean, 2020 has been for a wild ride. It certainly doesn't look good for Donnie, but let's see. They're supposed to, file here and on Monday. And, listen, I don't know. And it's obvious that, we're, the guys here on the floor, on the ground here, like Champ and the rest of them, we're not in control of this election. So... let's see what shakes and bakes. Let me pass out these lemons, guys. And hit this, click this ad. Brave token. Slow and steady with the Brave browser. Let me pass out these lemons, guys. Kind of quiet today. It's kind of quiet today. Shout out to everybody triggered. You think ETH is a good buy right now, Champ, says Mike? I've been DCAing in the past several months, but it's pretty high. Mike, it is pretty high. I'll admit. I would, if you've been DCAing, I continue to DCA. I'm interested in still getting some more ETH as well. This thing with with Vitalik actually sending out the ETH into the contract, and it seems like they're really going to do it. Now, how long it will take? It may take a couple more months or whatnot. But the potential upside for ETH, in my opinion, is greater than of Bitcoin. At least in in the next few months to a year. Okay. If it really does unlock, I think it may go up. I mean, look where the all-time highs for Ethereum is, 1,400, 1,500. So Mike says, yeah, man, everybody's probably tired from this election. Yeah, that's probably true too. People are tired. People are tired, including myself. I mean, I'm tired of the Rona, the election, and all this stuff, Yeah, I see that. Yeah, let's see. I mean, if you're dollar cost averaging, I think that's a good strategy. You may want to ramp it up a little bit more. I don't know where you're at. Everybody's, I don't know. Some people, I've seen people with hundreds of ETH. I've seen some people happy that they got 5 ETH. So I don't know where you're at, and it doesn't matter. But 32 ETH is something to consider. Crystozilla says, if Biden is official, then cryptos will go up more. They went up at the election. Yeah. You know what I was hearing too, Chris Dozilla, and I don't know if this is a rumor or whatnot. I think Biden is considering adding someone to his cabinet that's crypto friendly. I forgot the name. You guys may want to do the research, but it's a gentleman that has been overseeing the digital project, dollar project over there at MIT. And I think he may peg him for, I don't know if it's treasury or something in his cabinet. I read it briefly on one of the crypto websites, but I can't remember the specifics. But I do agree. I think that, that's why Wall Street wants Biden, because he will make inflation greater than Donald. So, inflation will rise the prices of the assets. It'll cause the assets prices to go up, including Bitcoin. ETH will slingshot and cost grab more, says T. Will. I've been saying it for a while there, T. Will. I've been saying it since all year. I'm getting more ETH. I'm getting more. I've been telling you guys, and we've been stacking and packing. So, to answer Mike's question, I'm not anybody's advisor, but I think that under $500, there's still something here for ETH. I can easily see ETH, going over $5. Now, will it hit all-time highs? Will it go over 1,000? I really don't know, But the fact that it's been to 1,400 before, and right now there's more usage going on the blockchain than before. So there you go. Maxine Waters has spoke about digital dollar, but it's not for what cryptomaniacs like. It's to control and track everything. Yeah, absolutely. You're looking at a centralized digital coin. There's nothing crypto about it. And listen, we've been talking about this for a while. The Rona, this debate on the election's integrity is a perfect storm to pull out a blockchain ID. Like, oh, you want universal basic income. You want to make sure your votes are counted correctly. You want to be part of the system. Well, here you go. You got to sign up for this account. It has all your biometrics. It has your verification of Vax. It has your UBI. Everything's right there for you. Taxes are easier. And that will be the solution. Gates patented crypto body activity chip. It's pretty clear what's all about. Yeah, it's pretty clear. It's at this point. And if you guys haven't noticed, the New York State Bar just issued a recommendation for mandatory vaccinations on everybody in New York State, regardless of what their religious beliefs or whatever. It's a recommendation. The bar is already trying to set, try to tell the lawyers that, that there's a legal precedent to press on. So get ready out there. And for everybody that went for Joey, maybe you guys will be first in line for this mandatory vax. That's coming up. That's what they should. Everybody that went for Joey and excited, maybe they should go first. If they trust it, I don't know, So you let me know, guys, what your opinions are. Let me go ahead and pass out that. Mike says, not my family. There you go. Yeah, so it's a New York State Bar is what they made the recommendation. Now, I don't know how that is federally and everything, but you know what Joey wants to do. More lockdowns and, let's see, guys. Let's see. I don't think the game's over yet, though. I still think there's like a 5, maybe a little bit more, 10% chance that this thing can get changed around in the courts. It's a small chance, obviously. I think the markets are betting like 10%. So there's always something on the table. Obviously, it's not looking good, and we got to proceed forward. And we're not trying. I'm not, like I said, guys. Whoever's behind the desk, they're not gonna do anything for us. But we're watching it, right? Mike says, got to go to work, champ. Thanks for the streak. Streak is always very entertaining. Have a good day. But you too, Mike. You too. And let us know what you do with that ether. We'll be here. We got some ether as well, so we'll be here. Fraud is rampant, so it's going to the courts. Let's see. If you watch the mainstream, you really don't know. And, you just, let's see. At the end of the day, look, if anybody's been involved in a legal proceeding, a court, once you're in the courts and stuff, you just got to keep your mouth shut and just let it run through, like whether you think it's a win or a loss or anything. Once it's in this court, just let it run through and let the legal process go. And let's see. If it's a fraud, if it's not, I don't know. But, if they have a case, let's push it and let's see what happens. But the complaining and and the screaming and yelling, the hooting and hollering. I don't think that that's effective. 2020 has disappointed for first. 2020 did a lot. 2020 did a lot, but I think a lot of people are starting to realize that the system is not as favorable as they thought. I mean, look, the crypto maniacs, a lot of them already knew this, but mainstream just still doesn't know. There's still a lot more people that need to be red pilled, and some people get red pilled and they don't really understand. I mean, it's further more than a red pill, honestly, guys. It's a greater awakening than just a red pill. But let's see. 2020 hasn't disappointed for first, says Crystal Zilla. Yeah, I mean, 2020 has been a lot of firsts, and I mean, it's disappointed some, but I think it's eye-opening. It's eye-opening. Let me pass out these lemons, guys. Click claim rewards. Wow, look at me. I'm going through the distribution. I never even clicked the button. I'm just going to click it. First time the U.S. media has called the presidential election and the candidate didn't accept speaks. Yeah. It's not the first time that the media has called an election, though. It happened with Truman. It happened with Gore. So it's not the first time that they call an election incorrectly. But, for the candidate to go up there with the acceptance, they're going to go, they're going to listen, the Dems got the media on their back, it is what it is. And that's why I think we got to make sure, if things are done correctly. And if he's truly the winner, we move forward. I mean, listen, but it certainly seems like there's some funny bunny going on. And if they got a case, present the case. And, if not, I don't know what else to say, guys. But one thing I definitely I'm reminded of, okay? And I think that, kind of forgot, but, it's there. And it's not surprising, but I'm just reminded on. The hate for Donnie is high, guys. There's a lot of hate for Donnie, okay? I mean, there's a lot of love for him and everything, but there's a lot of people that straight up hate this guy, okay? And what we've seen here is that, people weren't, most people that went for Joey, it's not that they were going for Joey, they were going against Donnie. Okay. So, it seems like a lot of people showed up against him. So it's like, a lot of, the hate, it's just a hate thing, they voted based on hate, not on love, which is wild. And they'll tell you, yeah, it's because I love the people and I'm going to go against this guy and everything, but I don't know. Crystal Zilla is a lucky winner and so is Athlete today. Boom. But yeah, there's a lot of people that hate on him. So, and that's evidenced by, people celebrating. And I've seen celebrations even on the ground here where I saw Trumpers. So, I mean, that's why it's definitely, the country's divided in that sense. So let's see what happens if the court has what they do or not. I mean, I have no idea. But we move forward, guys. And I agree with Crystal Zilla. I mean, a Joey presidency will give us more inflation. So we'll deal with what we have in front of us. It's conjured hate, though. You ask many of them, and they spread out claims they can't back up. It's because media feed them the hate. Right. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, though, Zilla, and let's be fair here. I mean, sometimes Donnie doesn't help himself out, the way he acts. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of doesn't help himself out. He gets a little, I don't know if the word's unruly or just unpresidential. And again, I understand that he's alternative and so he's not trying to be the regular politician, but sometimes, like he doesn't help himself, if you know what I mean. Now, is that reason enough to hate him? No, All right, guys. I told you guys about Wise, about T2X. So the only thing that I'm doing right now as far as staking is this T2X. I have a couple stakes on GXY, I believe. But the last time I checked, GXY's front end wasn't working. Or maybe it's back up. No, it's not. But someone did notify me that there was a GitHub front end. And they dropped a comment here in gxystake.github. Yeah, so you can still access GXY if you guys are still in it. You can still access it here. Okay? For anybody that is still in this thing. You know, I have one stake and I tried it out, and obviously this thing didn't end up being fruitful as we had hoped, and that's why I only did one. Oh, look, I got something to collect, but look, no dibs to collect. Wow. And my understanding is that, can I even trade this GXY? I'm going to get my GXY back at least. Let me see. But it's probably worthless. Let me go to Just Swap and see if I can sell these tokens. Last time I checked, no. And I checked, and the contract didn't have any liquidity. Yeah. I don't even think this is the right contract. So, so much for that. So I don't know what to do with this. I can't even get rid of these tokens. So I'm just, you know, for my purpose, I'll just leave it in there. If I'm going to stake for another, I don't know. I'll do it in 5-day, 5-day increments. Stake. This is ridiculous, though. And that's one thing we've learned, and I've learned as well. I mean, just because the contract is decentralized and you could access it through multiple sites like GitHub or others, doesn't mean that the coin's going to have liquidity. So, I mean, yeah, the coin could be all decentralized all the way, but make sure it has liquidity. Okay? Crystal Zilla says, he's always been that way, though. He's hard to pin down and predict. Immediately, foolishly thinks he's dumb, which is far from the truth. Yeah, that's true. But, like, you know, I'm just saying that I'm pointing out the stuff that doesn't work for him. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be, I'm trying to be fair and balanced. Like, the guy's not perfect, obviously. And I know that's how he's been. And sometimes it's actually helped in his benefit, though, to his benefit. I just think that he needs to refine it a little bit. And I mentioned, too, I think that what Donnie needs is a little more love. And it really became apparent to me when his son put him on his podcast and he did like an hour with his son. It was dry. It was dry, and it didn't give me that family values that I'm looking for. And, you know, I'm not saying that he doesn't love his family. It's obvious that he does, and that, you know, his sons and daughters stand behind him. He has a strong family. It's obvious. But his interaction with him on that podcast, it didn't seem authentic to me. You know, so, you know, it's one thing that I would like to see from Donnie. Okay. And you got, you know, I'm being I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible. You know, I didn't go for either of these clowns. I don't consent to either. And I'm being honest. I like Donnie more than Joey, obviously. But I think where he could improve on is a little love. That's all. That's it. Just, you know, he doesn't even need to change. You just got to add a little love to it. But that's my opinion. All right, guys, if there's no other comments and questions, I passed out the lemons. Stock markets, let me look at them back now that we've opened up here. S&P soaring there, 36.34. And it's funny to watch NVIDIA after, not last week, the week before last, I was in an NVIDIA play and I needed it to close above 520 and I got clapped because it closed like at 500 and change. And now I'm looking at NVIDIA with this post-election rally, and this thing is almost at, it's above 550. Look at it. It's crazy how these things move, you know. I got clapped on this little dip right here. But hey, you know, I've made definitely a lot of gains. I've made more gains with NVIDIA than I've had losses. So, you know. Dr. Puff and stuff says lack of unity. Yeah, that's what we need. We need more unification, but things are divided now. we'll move forward and we'll keep our eyes. And I just don't want any complainers out here, guys. Let the courts decide. And it is what it is. We move forward, and again, we can't be putting too much trust in these politicians in the system, guys. It's like, we know it's flawed from the beginning, and it's going to be very interesting to say. And it's funny because Sticks 666 was talking about this morning as well. It's going to be interesting to see the far left also get sold out by Joey too, because Joey, these politicians, they don't do much. He'll probably just not do anything. You know what I mean? Like. I'm sure that he's going to leave some of the extreme lefties out in the cold as well. Some of those Bernie guys. And for all those that don't think that there's a fraud out there, remember what they did to Bernie, to the point that Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to step down because of some funny business in the DNC primaries. Remember that? And let's not forget, what. These people have been involved with. No matter who wins, Bitcoin wins the most. Indeed. Bitcoin's winning. And we're winning as well. Not only because of the bits, but I think that, this show, I think people have learned a lot, don't depend on anybody else. If you're worrying about who's your president, you're already losing. Okay. It matters to a certain extent. And I guess, we can all put our 2 cents in, but get too much into politics. You might be a politician yourself. Come on, man. He loves saying that. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. He may not even get much done. For those that are freaking out, thinking he's going to bring all commie and socialism in, I don't know. He may not even get anything done. This guy. So I don't know. Let's see. I mean, if he even makes it there. If he even makes it till January, because who knows, man? 2020 has been a wild ride, and anything's possible. I still think there's a maybe 5-10% chance that the courts may flip this. If not, we ride with it and we proceed forward. We'll still be here with the bits. On that note, I'll take a few more comments and questions, and we're out of here, guys. Make sure you're checking out Wise Token. It's 2 more days. This thing starts on the 11th as far as the minting of tokens, and there'll be a 50-day reservation period. And after 50 days, basically in January is when you can begin staking this thing. This has 5,000 ETH in the contract, and they'll refund up to 70% of your gas fees for the first 20,000 ETH. So don't be scared about the gas fees on ETH when it comes to this one, because they're going to give it back to you in the form of Wise tokens, they say. So read through this, but it seems like a fair launch. 90% or more of the pre-sale goes to Uniswap swap liquidity. We were just talking about liquidity. Look at what happened with GXY. I can't even sell the token. There's no liquidity out there. And in this sense, there's going to be liquidity. 90% of this ETH is going to go to Uniswap for liquidity, and they're going to burn those LP tokens. So no one's going to be able to just take it all out. No admin keys, etc. Read you through the docs and check out the link I have down below. You get 10% bonus. Okay, 10% bonus. And that's the one I'm most excited about, to be honest with you. And that's, besides Bitcoin and Ether, obviously. Not afraid of Joey. It's the icky, sticky DNC that should scare anyone. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's the people behind them. But, if Congress is more in Republicans' favor now, I think they actually gained some weight. I think they're going to have a problem getting anything through, So it's gonna be interesting to watch the lefties fight each other, because lefties will eat each other up. It's never enough for them. They'll never get enough money. They're always more of a victim. It's like they'll fight each other. It's gonna be interesting to see. But because I've already heard that there's already arguing going on in the Democratic Party as to whether that socialist message ended up hurting them, because they lost seats, is what I heard. But on that note, guys, enough of the politics. I'm not a politician, guys. Honestly, let me get these gains. Let me move forward. And we should be talking about God more than these politicians, honestly. Shout out to Christozilla and Athlete, the big winners. I appreciate you guys every single day showing up to bat. And that's about it. Let me see. CoinDesk. Oh, yeah. They're already talking about the digital dollar, guys. Remember when it used to be like a conspiracy theory? Now it's like right there in the open. It's funny, like most of the conspiracy theories end up becoming real. Not all of them, but a lot of them. With record U.S. money printing failing to achieve much needed economic stimulus, some observers now expect creation of a digital dollar central bank digital currency will not only speed up payments to consumers, but also spur inflation. The central bank digital currency, the central banks will possess the necessary plumbing to directly deliver a digital currency to individuals' bank accounts ready to be spent via debit cards. Such a mechanism could open up veritable floodgates of liquidity into the consumer economy and accelerate the rate of inflation. Right. I mean, listen, at this point, like, why even have private banks? I mean, everybody should just have an account directly with the Fed. This is like basically what they're saying here. You know, what would be the point of even having a private bank? You just bank with the Fed directly. And guys, it's not only for your economic stimulus, but watch, it's going to be for voting as well. That's why I think there's also a possibility that this thing goes to court and it's revealed that there's a voter fraud, right? And that would be the perfect situation to bring in that voter ID or something like that, even though the lefties don't want that. Obviously, they don't want that because, you know, they want every vote counted, even votes that may not be legal. So yeah, that's something to consider. What a wild one it's been, though, guys. It's been a wild one. I said a few times to friends when they said, "What if we can't get them to listen?" I said Jericho. Yeah, I don't know that story very well. I'm still reading. I mean, obviously, you know, I know what you're referring to, but I'm not very versed in that story. But is that with like the trumpets when they go with like the small army? In regards to the lockdown, yeah. Where he assembles an army of like a few men, right? All right, guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions. I'm out of here. Where's Bitcoin at? 15,351, doing all right, holding steady. Now watch Bitcoin, because now that I'm seeing the bonds explode, I'm seeing metal kind of take a little dump here. Gold is taking a dump now. Look at gold's down 4%. This is because it's risk on now with this vax results and the potential Joey presidency. I think they're running up the printer right now. So you know, people are pouring back into the stocks. So watch Bitcoin. Will some of the money from Bitcoin go into the traditional stocks? Because I'm not seeing Bitcoin move right now. I'm seeing gold dump and then stocks move up. So, you know, keep an eye on that. It's something to consider. The biggest tell, though, of this this boom is this 10-year yield is up like 14%. Look at this thing. Look at this. 0.93 on the 10-year yield. This thing is exploding. So, you know, something to consider. Let's look at the dollar. The dollar at 92, you know, the dollar dumped a lot, but now it's, this is interesting. I would expect this to continue to go down. 92 will probably be at 91. Eventually we'll be under 90. And that's when I think when people start really realizing. Crystozilla is leaving a link there. He says, disconnected with me, but watch later if you're into this. Yeah, let us know, and you know, I'll click on it when I can. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming to the chat box here on DLive, like this gentleman, what was his name? Bibnida, you know, letting me know that there's another website for GXY, or, you know, let us know. And I know Crystozilla has done it in the past. If you have anything to share or anything, just you could do it on D Live. I check this at least once a day, so I'll see your comment. Sound the shofar. Yeah, it's not like a trumpet or like, yeah, I don't remember that story completely, the Jericho story, but I may check it out. And talking about Bible stories the other as well, now that we're talking about it, it just came to mind. I've been watching a Japanese anime of the Bible. It's called In the Beginning, and I thought it was pretty cool. It was produced in the 1990s, and it's a long series. I think it's like 30 or 40 episodes covering the Old Testament. Starting with Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, the Tower of Babel, and more. So check that out. It's called In the Beginning. I've been checking that. If you like anime or whatnot, and I'm watching it to see if maybe I share it with the children later. They're still young. My children are still young, so I don't think they're ready to watch that. They're only 2-3 years old, but maybe in a few years. Because it's important. If you have, children out there, it's important for you to teach them about God, guys, because the media is not going to do it. Okay. They're not going to do it, and they're not going to learn it in school unless you're putting them in a private school. So it's up to you. What you teach your children is up to you. It's ultimately, your children are your responsibility, not the states, not the teachers, not anybody but yourself. So make sure that, you understand that, and, you get ahead in that aspect. On that note, I'm out of here, guys. Shout out to Crypto Zilla and the rest of the boomers. I appreciate all you crypto maniacs out there. I'll be back, and I can't stress to you enough, I'm excited about Wise Token. What they're saying is the smartest way to earn crypto. This thing may be a competitor to Hex. I already got a few ETH in there, and I'm going to throw another ETH. I got the referral link down below. And Slobos, I haven't forgot about you. I will use your link. I just haven't thrown anything at this, but I do have an ETH here in my wallet, if you see. I got an ETH in here, and I'm holding it, and I will throw it at Wise. But on that note, I'm out of here, guys. Shout out to all the boomers. I appreciate you, maniacs. I'll be back soon. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, Crypto's finest. Champagne Crypto.